Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. My name is Greg Zidane. I'm the camping director up at Cole Canoe Base. So happy to have you guys with us. We've got a good program lined up for you tonight. We're going to introduce our team that's on the webinar with us tonight, but I want to just kind of throw in a quick shout out. If you guys want to invite your parents and some of your scout leadership to this webinar, have them join us next month. The more the merrier. We want to get the information out. So let's hear a little bit who we got with us tonight. As I said, my name is Greg Zidane, and I'm happy to be here. We've got David Kautz, our assistant camp director. We're going to be hearing from Dan Hill, coming back as our base camp director. Linda, our business manager. Sam and Vicky, our program team. And lastly, we're going to hear from Matt, our aquatics director. I know we're trying to get Michelle Grimble, our Dean of Merit Badges, in, and hopefully we can hear from her a little bit later on tonight as well. Got a big program lined up for you guys tonight, so we're going to kind of jump right into it as quickly as we can. Here's a little bit of our agenda. We are going to be talking about payments, and we got a lot of questions coming in about pre-camp swim checks, so we're going to try to address some of those. We're going to hear about first-year camper and everything you guys need to know to get ready for camp and get your planning underway. Before we jump in, we're going to just a couple housekeeping items. If you guys haven't been on our webinars before, realize that you guys are in what's called listen only mode. So you cannot unmute yourself. You are muted. Your video camera doesn't work. None of that. We do that just to kind of keep things a little smoother, but we do encourage you guys to communicate to us through the chat feature. If you've got questions, shoot them over. We'll do our best to answer them during the show. If not, we'll have question and answers at the end. As all of our webinars, this program is being recorded and will be available in the next couple days on michiganscouting.org so that you can share it with people who may not be able to be here tonight, or if you want to go back and review some material, that will be available to you soon. I want to talk a little bit about our commitment to you and our customer service policy. If you've been with us before, you've probably seen this. Our commitment to you is that we as the camp staff are dedicated to providing our customers and our guests a legendary scout camp experience. While participating in life-changing year-round camp programs, we are committed to provide facilities, programs, services, and camp leadership that will consistently exceed the expectations of our customers and our guests. Our Michigan Scout camps will be safe havens for experiencing the best of the adventures and values of the Boy Scouts of America. And at Cole Canoe Base, we take that customer service policy very seriously. If you've had the chance to come to camp before, you know our staff, we don't like to say no. We're going to do everything we can to make this a good experience for you guys. Some of the points that we're driving home is we're striving to plan innovative programs to keep up with today's youth, provide qualified, talented staff. Every year at camp, there's new things going on. There's exciting things. There's always something for scouts to look forward to. We're working diligently on improving and planning to implement our high quality food service. We are continuing to upgrade and refresh our facilities all the time. And lastly, we aim to engage you, our leaders, and our youth and in our process and implementation. So if you have feedback, we want to hear it. Do not be shy. Without any further ado, I believe we are going to be hearing from our business manager, the lovely Miss Linda Wallner, to talk a little bit about the camp payment schedule and some other information coming up. Linda, it's all you.
Good evening, everyone. Right now, you should have made 3 payments for camp. The first $50 was due by February 1st. The second $50 was due by March 1st. And the third payment of $125 is due now. If you haven't made any payments at all, which I've got 16 units that still have not, you would have to pay the $225 now. If you wait till after April 1st, you're going to pay the full $350 all at one time. Any unit not getting their full payment in by May 1st is going to be charged an extra $45 each as a late fee. So I really encourage everybody to get their payments in on time. The best way to do it is through e-check, because there is I believe it's a $2.75 or percent charge if you use a credit card. So like I say, the best payment, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes,
We
Linda,
can
we
hear
can
you,
hear
Linda.
you.
Okay, okay. My phone just went crazy. That's why I checked. I'm sorry. You know, the best thing, like I said, to do is do the e-check, which all you need to do is put in the routing number and the account number for the payment. Credit cards they will charge you more, and I'd rather the fees stay with the units. Let's see. If you have not, or you haven't gone in for a while, please do not start a new registration. Use your original registration to make any payments, and when it opens up for merit badges, use that. Starting a new registration just confuses the issue and it is troublesome. If you do not remember your registration, please contact me, David, or Greg, or Dan, and we can get you your correct registration number. Okay, if you have any questions on that, please put them in chat. As I said before, the final payment for everybody is due by May 1st, or you will hear a $40 additional fee for everyone except the crossovers. They will pay the $350 regardless of when they sign up, because we realize some of them don't cross over till after May 1st. So they will be charged the $150 at that time, or the $350, I'm sorry. The final payment for the adults is also due May 1st. Okay, now I'm going to talk a little bit on scholarships. Scholarship applications are due by April 1st. That's coming up very shortly. You can go online to michiganscouting.org/camperships to get the application to sign in. And you know, you have to consider, or the committee will consider the use, support, and mission for Michigan Scouting, including participation in popcorn sales. All applications, like I say, need to be in by April 1st. Anyone's coming in after April 1st will be considered if funding is available. Though they will give out scholarships after April 1st if there's funding for it. And anyone that has applied for a scholarship will expect notification by June 15th. And
All right,
I
great.
believe that's about it on scholarships and payments. Again, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat or contact me. My email is linda.wallner, WALLNER, @scouting.org. Thank you for your attention, and can't wait to see everybody at camp this summer.
Hey, thank you very much, Linda. For the next few slides, we're going to be doing a little bit of popcorn between the program team, it looks like. So I'm going to get out of the way, let you guys introduce yourselves. Whoever's up first to talk about pre-camp parents meetings and pre-camp planning, take it away.
I believe I am up first. My name is Sam Howell. I am your program director for this summer up at Cole Canoe Base. I was up there last summer, so I'm happy to see you all again this summer. So for why it is important to host a pre-camp parents meeting is to just go ahead and spread important information about the purposes and advantages for why Scouts should come camping, because we have found that the more parents know about why they should be here at Cole Canoe Base, the more that they will come. So some important information that might want to be gone over at this meeting includes health and safety, food and special diets, what camp programs are occurring, fees and payment deadlines that lovely Linda just covered for us, and the leadership that will be taking place for your troop while at camp. By providing this parents with this information early, it just creates more of a sense of responsibility that your unit is coming to your camp just ready to be awesome and ready to just have fun, no matter what's going to happen. So some agendas, we're just going to go over some, just in a perfect world, here's some parent night agenda. So that should include just promoting attendance to summer camp. It should be held as early as you can, especially with parents of crossovers or soon to be crossovers. Scouts should come as well. Also, why not include some camping exhibits and demonstrations by the patrol leaders and stuff, so the parents can see what the kids are going to be doing, because maybe not everyone has a chance to head on up here to Cole Canoe Base and see what their scouts will be doing, so they can always get just a little taste of what the kids will be getting the chance to do over the course of their week. So here is just, in a perfect world, here is a meeting agenda that you can use. So of course, we encourage Scout-led. So we have opening ceremonies by your SPL, and then welcome and the purpose of the meeting by your troop committee and leadership. So you can please use our videos and stuff like that, the camp promotional materials. Since these are recorded, you can even use these slides. The camp sections and why this camp fits what you guys need to do this year. The camping dates and where you guys are camping. So who is going to be in charge at camp and exact needs of what already are set. Maybe talk about ways that they are going to be earning money to be coming to camp. Discussing registration for the kids, what money is due when. And also don't forget about getting clearances for campers and visitors. Always don't forget including a question and answer period so everyone can get their thoughts out and don't have to walk away with anything left. And just don't forget a closing ceremony by those SPLs as well. And I think that moves on to our fabulous aquatics director, Matthew Grimble.
Hey, thanks.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Matt Grimble. I'm going to be the
All right.
aquatics director, and really excited for it. So talking about pre-camp swim checks. So up here on there are the different dates that we have listed for pre-camp swim checks at camp. So you can go to that and go and do your swim check at any of those dates, and bring them with you to camp. That way we can get those taken care of for you. That's the main option. The other one that you can do, if you go under that link, you can get approval for individuals. The key kind of guidelines when it comes to approvals for swim checks on who it needs to be done is either an aquatics instructor, BSA, which is the basically a aquatic instructor at a camp, a BSA lifeguard, or a individual who has completed the BSA swim and water rescue. That's the in-person training where you learn a lot of the rescue skills, or any other lifeguard with approval. So those are the different options that you'll need to do to cover your swim checks. Swim checks are really helpful if you do them ahead of time. That way you can go up and get them completed beforehand, so you don't have to worry about trying to take care of them. You can still retest while you're at camp. So if you have a youth who is not able to pass it the first time around, when you go to a pre-camp one, you can still come up to us on Sunday and just say, hey, I have one person who wants to retake it based off of what they went over. So that's really the big thing for that. The other thing I have to talk about, and I don't think we really have any information on the slides, but we have a new program that more information is going to be coming out at the end of the summer, is going to be our Lifeguard Academy, where individuals can actually come up to camp and receive not only a American Red Cross lifeguard certification, but also BSA, swim and water rescue, all sorts of that stuff. In addition to, they can complete, if they're a youth, their life-saving merit badge, etc. So really excited to offer that. There is a minimum age requirement of, I believe, 14, that we're still working on getting the details finalized, and then we will have the information for that posted. That's all I have, so I will turn it back to whoever is next.
I believe next up is Victoria, our assistant program director, longtime first year camper program director, to talk about first year campers.
Hello. First year camper is going to happen in a very similar way that it happened last year. We're still going to keep, or the first year camper schedule is available online. A good thing to keep in mind, we don't sign off requirements. This is because your troop may want to go back and check on the requirements and make sure that they're actually learned, so that way you guys can sign them off. We're always looking for help at a first year camper for some support, to keep our 10-to-1 scout to adult ratio and make sure that every scout has an opportunity to do each of the requirements. If you want the next, So we're keeping the same type of schedule we did scout and 10 different requirements in the morning session, and then the afternoon sessions being first class and second class, with the exception of Thursday, but we'll get to that in a later slide. So Monday is more of an introductory in the morning, and in the afternoon we'll go to our basic knots and lashing. Morning for Tuesday, we're doing our hiking rules, buddy system, and first aid on a hike, because on Wednesday we will be doing our 5-mile hike, and that is why we're also doing our second class and first class first aid on Tuesday afternoon. Our 5-mile hike, like last year, will leave around 10:10, return around 3:30. We're including lunch on the trail, and this will give the scouts more of an opportunity to identify 10 plants and 10 animals for first and second class. Thursday, we're doing more of the knots, but for the 10 different requirements, and then we're also going to add in a few of the first class, second class knots if we don't get to them on Tuesday or Monday afternoon. And then we're also doing our aquatic safety and knowledge, so that's your line and tender, your reach pull throwing, etc. that happens down at the waterfront. Friday morning is makeup day, so if you guys go on a river trip throughout the week or have something going on in your campsite, they can always make up any missed time on Friday. On Wednesday, when they get back from the hike, they have an opportunity to earn their firemanship and totemship. And then that same night, around the same time that the amazing race is happening, the first year camper s'mores night will happen. And this is open to any first year campers in camp, not just the ones in the program. And then on Thursday, we have our makeup fireman and totemship that happens during the Lumberjack Festival. This could all change because if it's raining, we obviously can't do the fireman totemship at the time. That's why we have a second option. And then sometimes if it's raining on a Wednesday heavily, we may change that to a Tuesday or etc. Also, at the end of the summer, we will be having an opportunity for any rebelows, crossovers, and first year campers to hang out with us at camp for a week. We'll be providing the leadership from the staff. The leaders are welcome to come as well. It'll be more of a fun activity week versus an advancement week, so they can kind of get the fun in camp while they focus on possibly advancement during summer camp. And that is all I have, I believe.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Victoria. I believe we are going to be hearing from Sam again to talk about an ideal planning timeline for camp and what your unit can be doing to get ready for camp. Sam?
Yes, because we are Boy Scouts and we always want to be prepared. It is always good to start planning for camp. So here is our ideal timeline. So starting at the start of this month. So hopefully you're already doing some of these things, as our merit badge registration is opening on March 21st at 8 a.m. So please start collecting those merit badge selections that your scouts are looking forward to completing at Cole Canoe Base this year. We have just so many available, so make sure you are getting the top choices from your scouts, making sure you are collecting your $125 payment from your youth camper for that total payment there. Also, don't forget about those camp scholarships, or other known as our camperships, April 1st. April Fool's Day is not only for laughs and jokes, it's for getting that campership in. Don't forget to hold maybe another final parents meeting to go over the summer plans for camp and answer some questions. Make sure they have a gear list so they know what they need to get for the boys so they can pack, the boys and girls so they can pack. And also don't forget about our merit badge prerequisite list that is posted on our website that will allow the student, that will allow our scouts that are coming to camp just to have those pesky requirements that are just something that we can't do hands-on there at camp just out of the way, so they have it ready for them when they walk up so they can walk away with more merit badges done than just incompletes to finish when they get back at home. So don't forget to discuss health forms and DHS forms. It's important that you have all of them for your troop because we do a check at camp. So we'll make sure each and every member has the forms that are required. And also don't forget about starting your transportation plans. That's going to be how and when all you guys are coming up here to Cole Canoe Base. So coming into our next month, so from April into May 1st, so you're going to want to go ahead and start getting those health forms and the releases because we will be going ahead and keeping the original, so collect a copy. Go ahead and get their next youth payment and our adult payment and part-time adults. Start just getting all these payments on time. Linda will be happier. The more money that she's getting on time, the better. And then May 1st to June 1st, all right, so this is confirming those transportation arrangements to and from camp. This is planning when you're leaving, who's going to be driving, what car has what lovely kid in it, and then also don't forget about pick up so those parents can come back and get all those kids so you don't have to figure out how to get them home at the end too. Don't forget to collect YPT training, BSA membership, and those DHSA clearance forms from all adults attending at camp. Those are very important forms to have. Collect them now, or when you come to camp, you'll be seeing Linda to get that all figured out. And then don't forget to get a secure copy of council's accident insurance if you're coming to see us from out of council, because we know Cole Canoe Base is an amazing camp to be at, and we want to see you from everywhere and anywhere. All right, so now it's coming 2 weeks prior to coming to camp. This is time for your SPL and scribe to complete your camp roster sheets, because hopefully this is boy-led. We're having them do everything for us, you know, having them show their leadership skills, working on that final transportation arrangements, inventorying all uniform and equipment, making sure your tents are all set up and expected. We don't want no rain drops in the middle of the night falling on your heads. Inventory all your equipment to make sure you have all the cooking equipment you need, and then just make sure all that paperwork is organized and ready for transport. The more it's organized, the easier it will be on you, and the easier it will be on us, so we always appreciate it. And then call camp and confirm special dietary needs, because the more you tell us what your scouts and what you need to eat, the better chance we're going to make sure it is there from day one in your food box. Make sure you guys are being fed the right way. So make sure you guys are listed. These are going to be listed under your online registration. Also, when you get to camp, tell us. It doesn't matter when. Always be telling us about those special dietary needs. All right, so it's almost camp time, 1 week prior to coming to camp. All right, so you're just going through your paperwork binders. Make sure you have the youth, health form and release, adults, DHS clearance letters for your campers and your visitors. And adults, you're also going to need your proof of BSA memberships and your YPT certificates. You're going to make sure your unit trailer and your trucks and stuff like that are all packed with your equipment, because no one needs to do those last minute running around for camp. Always get it done a little bit earlier. Make sure your camp roster is reviewed and updated, just in case you're having any awesome friends join us last minute. Unit campers are reported and printed from your registration, because it's pretty cool that we can all do it through our systems now. So the scouts can get their class schedule so they can know at 9 a.m. where they need to be at Cole Canoe Base all the way till their 3:30 merit badge. Also, don't forget about leadership for like scout summary, and for yourself, a period summary, so you can know where your scouts are and like where you can check in on them so you know where they can be.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sam. I know that was a lot to get through. Want to do a couple plugs while we're talking about getting ready for camp. We've got some service days coming up, some opportunities for you guys to come up and help get us ready. These are obviously free events for you guys. We just want to try to get the people in to help out. The first of those is coming up next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend. It's the weekend of March 26th, and that is I Love My Camp Day. We're going to be working on indoor facilities, working in the Kamen Center and the commissary, helping to clean and kind of refresh, get camp ready. It's been a long winter, and there's a lot of work to do. These are definitely great opportunities for scouts and leaders alike to come up and just get up north for the weekend and help out. Coming up in May, on May 21st, is our Mix Fix Day. This is when we're going to be focusing a little bit more on the outside stuff at camp. We're going to be doing maybe a little bit of trail work, a little bit of tree work, light tree work, and moving mulch and stuff around. This is probably geared a little bit more towards older scouts and adults, but bring the whole troop up. We're happy to have the help. Like I said, both of these events are at no cost to you guys. The Love My Camp Day does include lunch, Mix Fix. You get breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then we do a brunch on Sunday for you guys. So if you'd like more information on that, feel free to reach out to myself or Sylvia if you have her email, and we will be happy to have the help. I should have looked ahead. That's pretty much everything I just said here on these slides. But like I said, if you guys want to be a part of that, do please pre-register at their email link, or email me. We can send you a direct link. Happy to have the help. As you guys probably know by now, we've got 2 more webinars coming up before camp. We are getting down to the wire. As I mentioned earlier, I encourage you guys, get the rest of your troops involved, get your unit leadership, get your scout leadership in on these next webinars. As we get closer to camp, we're going to be having more and more in-depth information about specific program details and things that they're going to want to know. Our webinars are the 3rd Thursday of the month coming up. That's April 21st and May 19th at 7 p.m. And no webinar in June because we're all going to be busy running a camp. And speaking of running a camp, we are still looking for some people to help us do that. Applications are available on michiganscouting.org, or as always, email us and we'll send you the link. We are hiring not only paid staff positions for year-round, but as well as CITs and commissioners, which are volunteer positions. Great opportunity for youth looking to build some leadership and get a little bit of work experience, maybe even make a little bit of money. Reach out to us if you'd like more information. We'd be happy to talk you through it. Coming up, I believe we are now in the questions and answers part of this. We do have some questions to get through, so I know I saw a few. If you guys have anything that we haven't yet addressed, feel free to throw it into the chat. I do know just a couple that I remembered while I try to organize this here. I saw a question about Saturday swim checks, and that actually reminds me about something we haven't even mentioned yet. If you guys are new to Cole Canoe Base, you should know that we invite and encourage you guys to check in with us on Saturday. There is no additional cost to that. It is completely optional, but anytime after about 2 o'clock on Saturday, you guys can feel free to come in, start getting camp set up, get through your check-in process. We are going to have some opportunities for Saturday swim checks. We do encourage you guys to try to get that done before you get to camp. But we are going to be doing some Saturday swim checks, hashing out the details right now, but plan on that being an option. I also saw a question in here about food distribution. We are going to be doing kind of a hybrid model. So as you guys know, we're a patrol cooking camp, and during the pandemic last year, we changed our food distribution. So traditionally, scouts have come up to the commissary window and gotten their food and taken it back to camp. And then last year we said, we're going to deliver it to you. And what we found was that some troops really liked the delivery, other troops not so much. So plan A is for you guys to come back up to the window and get it yourselves. However, if it is something that you guys, really liked, contact us and we can make arrangements for delivery to the campsite. ATVs, here's a good question. We recently signed into a new deal with Polaris. What this basically means for you guys is that the ATV training program is now available for scouts down to aged 14. So it used to be 16 and up, now it's 14. Somewhere there's a document that says it is still 16 and up. That document is wrong. We're not quite sure where it is, to be honest, but 16 and up, we get that, or 14 and up, we get that question about once a week right now. So, and there is an additional fee for that ATV course. I believe it's $55 this year. Troops needing an early checkout. If you guys need to leave Friday evening, you will arrange that with your staff host when you guys get to camp, and your staff host will make arrangements for you guys to get an early checkout if that's something you need for travel plans or whatever. Hey, Laura, I was wondering how long it would take for this question. We did just get approval from the state to do go back to having 2 to a tent. We are asking that if scouts are going to sleep 2 to a tent, that they go head to toe for a variety of reasons. But we are allowing 2 to a tent again. David Couts, our assistant camp director, has kind of been monitoring the chat. So I'm going to ask him to shout out if there's something I missed. I do something about citizenship and society. Let me take a minute to talk about that while David's perusing the chat. So if you don't know, the Boy Scouts have a new merit badge, Citizenship in Society. It is Eagle required, effective July 1st, I believe. Here's one of the weird things about this merit badge, a little different from what we're used to. The National Advancement Committee has made it very, very clear that they do not want this merit badge taught in the camp setting. Because of the way that this is structured, they want it to be focused on small groups of 2 or 3. So we will not be offering Citizenship in Society this summer. My hope is to work with our advancement committee and find a way to do something in a independent study capacity in the future. But at least for now, we are not going to be offering that this summer.
Greg, the other question was on the process of how units or parents find out if they were granted a scholarship or campership.
You will be contacted by the campership committee. I'm going to actually throw that over to Linda. She's been working with that process for a while and probably knows a little bit more about it than me. Linda? Linda? Okay, so.
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm on now.
Linda, the question is, how will scouts know if they got a campership?
They will be contacted by the campership committee. Now, and they should be contacting the families themselves.
All right, so that contact will come directly to the family, not through the troop. Thanks
Correct.
very much, Linda. As we're, and yes, Dave, it will be applied automatically to Black Pug, so that is another way to find it out, is if you notice your balance due is less. While David's sifting through for more questions, I do want to take a minute to plug some of our other programs coming up this, not only this spring, but this fall. We are doing a couple wilderness first aid courses. I believe the spring courses are already full, but we do have room in the fall course. This June, we'll be hosting one of our signature events through the Venturing Officers Association, the Rifle River Gauntlet. That is a aquatic festivity of grand proportions. There's a canoe race. They're playing down at the lake. They got all sorts of fun stuff going on. That is not only open to venturers, but any scout of venturing age. So if you'd like more information on that, you can look on the council website or contact me, and I'll get you in charge with, or I'll get you in contact with Connie. This fall, we have a brand new program that we are unrolling. This is like a pilot program in the MCC. We're calling it our Wilderness Adventure Week. This is a whole new kind of camping being offered in Michigan, geared towards scouts aged 10 to 13. Now, if you pay attention, that's not only Scouts BSA, but that's also your Webelos Scouts. This is kind of a crossover camp. It's going to focus on scouting skills. There's going to be a little bit of advancement, but it's really more about having fun. One of the wild things about this program, you guys as adults get to stay home and relax. This is completely camp-led. We are going to have camp counselors assigned to different groups of youth. That makes it a totally provisional program. No adults required. We're very excited. It sounds like it's going to be a really fun program. There is some information on that on michiganscouting.org, or you can reach out to me directly. And then Matt mentioned the lifeguard camp that we're doing in August, as well as our provisional high adventure programs, the Great Lakes Kayak Adventure, and the Ogama Trails ATV Week happening in August. We have a question about a second week of camp as a provisional. So if you go to the registration page, you actually have an opportunity. You just register like you're registering for a week of camp, and then you use a drop-down menu to select a provisional scout, and you do it that way. If you guys don't know, any scout that attends a second week of resident camp at any Michigan Scouting camp will receive a discount on their second week. Trail to Eagle, for the purpose of what I was talking about there, is its own thing. So the discount does not apply to Trail to Eagle. There is a refrigerator at White Pines. All right, David, am I missing anything in here?
I don't believe so.
All right. I do know, I saw a couple here to reference various slides that we've already gone through. What I would encourage you to do is go to michiganscouting.org in a couple days, and you can actually access this entire slideshow. And to do that, if you need help finding this, this is not only where you will find the slideshows themselves, but all of our recorded webinars across the entire council. Go to michiganscouting.org and scroll over to the Outdoor Adventures tab and just click right on that tab. And that should take you right to the landing page where all of these webinars are. I believe it's like it's like 2 scrolls if you're using my mouse. So it's near the top. The question about how to use the parent portal to sign up for merit badges, that video is in the February webinar, I believe it was. If you'd like, email me and I'll find it for you. Yeah, Jason, thank you to Troop 1701. That fridge I mentioned at White Pines is actually new. They donated us a brand new fridge last year. Lance, question about the first year camper schedule. The schedule we posted is kind of an overview and call it a tentative to change. But if you'd like to reach out to our program team, we can get you the specific details. I don't believe there were any other additions beyond the tote and chip. And
Actually, Greg, the items Lance is asking about are on the very last page of that document.
all right, look on the last page, Lance. All right, guys. Well, I'm not seeing anything else in the chat. I'm going to hang out for a few minutes just in case anything does show up. Here's something. David, we're finalizing the menu right now. We'll have it released in the next few weeks. We're still hashing out some details, but I would say to expect to have a publicized version of that probably, give it a month or so.
Greg, did you want to answer the questions about kits for some merit badges being available in the store? Or essentially the answer is for merit badges that require crafts or things like space exploration, merit badge counselor will provide information. Also check the prerequisite sheet and you can either bring your own supplies to camp or for things like leather work and that, we have scrap leather pieces and that can be used in the program area for no cost.
Fantastic. I'll just kind of speak to this greater question here. Every one of our campsites has different amenities and things that make it unique, and that's largely through the thanks of our adopted tent site program. So different troops have done different things. As an example, Silver Springs has a pavilion and electricity and a fancy firebowl and axe yard. Every one of our campsites is a little bit unique. So if you need help picking a specific campsite, reach out to us with your needs and we'll help walk you through that process. And otherwise, if you're interested in the Adopted Tent Site program and you want to help make our campsites better, not only for your troop, but for future troops, reach out to myself and I'll get you in touch with our properties chair, Kent Klitsky. Eric, I'm not sure if this is a technology issue, but whatever you're typing in the chat, we cannot distinguish it whatsoever. So if you have a specific question, please reach out to me by email and I'll help you with it. Unfortunately, whatever you're typing isn't words on our end. We'll have a Class B t-shirt option available, and we'll have information released on that soon. We're meeting with some people on that in the next couple weeks.
But if you're interested in like placing an order in that, you can just email colecanoebase@michiganscouting.org. And once we have things set up to process your order, we'll get it in quickly. I'm including that email address in the chat right now.
Question about the second week of camp. That is all generated automatically through the system. It takes a few days or whatever to do it. I don't know the technical jargon behind it, but basically if the scouts is doing the second week, it should apply automatically. Let me know if it's not, and I'll reach out to Rebecca. And likewise with sibling discounts, those are automatically applied now. So as long as the scouts have the same last name and address, they will automatically get the sibling discount. If they're not, for whatever reason, reach out to us and we'll fix it. Well, all right, folks, we are just closing in on 7:50. That is the 50-minute mark for our webinar tonight. I do thank you for joining us. As always, I'll hang out for a couple minutes unless there's any, or in case somebody's typing right now. As always, you can reach out to me by email or by phone if you have any questions or anybody from our team. We're always happy to help out. Thanks a lot. Have a great night.